it's McKirby with Ready As I Can Be, and I'm back with another video, an exciting video, actually an official video to the pharmacy series that I mentioned a couple weeks ago, and I'm really excited about the information I'm going to bring you guys. So I'm going to start this video with going into the background information so that way you guys can have a better idea as where I'm coming from, how this came about, how I decided to go into pharmacy, and I'll break up the series that way so that way you guys can have much more insight, and if you guys have any questions so that way you guys can follow along and I can provide you guys information. So first I want to start by saying that like I've mentioned before, I'm a non-traditional student, not because I'm just a mother or a wife, it's because pharmacy wasn't something that I aspired to become out of high school. When I was in high school, actually that wasn't the path I was taking. When I graduated from college, I graduated with a degree in communications. I wanted to go into public relations, be a public relations specialist. After I graduated, a couple months after graduation, I got an opportunity to move to Korea so I can teach conversational English. I stayed in Korea for about, I would say 19 months. It's about 19 months. And it was a great experience. I met some amazing people. That's a story for another time. I'll go into that. I'm probably going to say that a lot. A story for another time. But anyways, yeah, I met some amazing people. It was a great experience. And then when I came back, I was looking for work. I'm trying to go back into PR, but the economy wasn't doing so well. So I got a job as a administrative assistant. Because I worked with a accounting firm while I was in college. I was really good with Excel, numbers, QuickBooks. So I worked as an administrative assistant and trying to figure out where I wanted to go from that point on, what would be my next steps. Some of you remember there was an earthquake in Haiti. And when that earthquake occurred, all I was thinking to myself was like, how can I help? How can I give back? What can I do to possibly give back? And I was like, with the communication degree, there's not much I can do, just write about it. And I was just like thinking to myself like, and that's what like triggered the moment to like look into something within the health field. I knew it wasn't going to be nursing, because if it was going to be nursing, I would have done that a while back, because my sister was going into nursing, but it wasn't something that I wanted to go into. Nursing just wasn't for me personally. So I started doing my research, and I started actually going out to like different places like Walgreens, going to the hospital, trying to speak to anyone that would give me some insight in regards to what they do. But before I did that, actually I almost missed this point. Before I did that, I looked at a list of health field careers. I narrowed it down to physician assistant and pharmacy. And when I looked further into it, looking at the prerequisites, this is just simply prerequisites, I noticed that the prerequisites were very, very similar. They both required anatomy and physiology, microbiology, biology, general chemistry, with the exception of pharmacy required also organic chemistry. Pharmacy also required analytical geometry and calculus. They both required statistics. So the prerequisites were very similar. And I knew, since I already had a bachelor's degree, that I needed to get all of the science prerequisites that I would need, because my major did not entail anything in science, so I didn't take a lot of science courses, just the bare minimum to get my degree. So I started with just still not knowing which field I wanted to go into. I just started just taking the courses because I knew they were similar, until I decided which way I would go. When it started like veering off, I would decide. I knew I had to make a decision. So while I was taking those courses, I was taking it part-time. I started taking courses the year I got married in 2011. That summer I started taking courses and going part-time because I was working full-time. And I was like, okay, I need to figure this out. So I started doing some legwork, going to like the local pharmacy, going to the hospital, just speaking to anyone that would be willing to speak to me. And so that way I could, make a decision on what would be best for me, what would work for my personality, what would be the best route. Especially since this was a second degree, I just didn't want to make a mistake in going into school all over again and then deciding, oh gosh, it's not what I want to do. 2014 comes along. No, I would say the end of 2013, actually. The end of 2013, this is when I'm like, okay, I need to start making a decision, because I've been going part-time. So I was only taking 1 or 2 classes per semester. And I applied for a job at the hospital and Publix. And the hospital job was to be a scribe, so you follow the doctor around, take notes, and I knew this was the type of job I needed in order to get a better insight to be a PA. And I applied at Publix to see if I can get into the pharmacy. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pray on this, and whichever job that calls me back, that'll be my guide to let me know, okay, this is where I need to be, you know, this would be my deciding factor. I went back to Publix, and I met a person there at a different Publix, Joel, and then he was telling me that the store that he worked at, they were hiring, so I got in contact, so on and so forth, and then, you know, a couple of days later, I received a call back. Wasn't a call back, it was an email. It was a call back by email, I can't remember which one, but I received confirmations for an interview. So the funny thing about it is that my interviews were on a Sunday. I had an interview 10 o'clock in the morning at the hospital, and I had an interview, I believe it was at 9 o'clock in the morning, because it was before the pharmacy opened. It was at 9 o'clock in the morning at Publix. So this is like a couple of days before, and I'm like, fine, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have an interview, both locations that I applied for on the same day. And I'm like, okay, this is a trick, like what is going on? So I was like, you know what? Lord, help me make the right decision. I prayed about it. You know, I was like, God, this is going to be really difficult. And that's when I knew that this was going to be really, really hard, because I was like, oh my gosh, like, okay. All right, fine. Okay, I get it. And in the end, I decided to go to Publix and take that interview. I knew I wouldn't make it to the hospital that same day. So I canceled with the hospital, and I took the interview with Publix. And within hours, I found out that they hired me, you know, to work as a pharmacy technician. And I was like, wow, okay, this is the beginning, okay? You know, I'm really excited at this point, but I'm thinking to myself, like, did I make the right decision? But I was like, you know what? I need to just trust in God, because, you know, just trust him, whatever not. So I get the position at Publix and start my training. 3 weeks later, I find out I'm pregnant. That's a story for another day. But in any case, I take the job at Publix. I'm working at Publix, and I'm like, oh my God. I was really scared in the beginning, because I was like, oh my goodness, I haven't even been here for a month. Now I'm pregnant. Am I going to be able to, you know, stay at this job while I'm pregnant? I'm thinking about all these different scenarios in my head, and I'm like, oh my goodness, you know, just thinking. And I was like, and I had to reel myself back in. Trust, have trust, okay? So I continue working at Publix, and because of the person I am, I mean, I worked until I was like close to like literally days before I gave birth to Imani. And it's because I really loved the work that I was doing there. I loved working as a pharmacy technician, just working, you know, with the pharmacist and whatever not. And it didn't even end there. It was just at that point, I met the pharmacist that I was working with, both pharmacists, the pharmacy manager and the pharmacy manager assistant. They were both great pharmacists, and I aspired to be just like them. They were like my mentors, and they were kind of like really encouraging. They were very encouraging with the idea of me going into pharmacy school. They were like, you know, letting me know that this is something that they can really see me doing. They were really giving me the positive feedback that I needed. In the beginning, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, in the beginning, it was a little bit tough, because I was learning something that I've never had done before, whatever not, but I know that I'm a fast learner and I'm capable, and I gave it my all, and I ended up working as a pharmacy technician. And I was going to wait, we're in 2018, right? So I get the job in 2014, I worked there, had my daughter, left for a little bit for maternity leave for about 6 weeks, then got pregnant again, had my son, went back, and I'm still working there. And like I said, the pharmacists were like very great mentors, and they're like asking, like, you know, have I looked into the schools, whatever not? And I was like, yeah, you know, I'm almost done with my prerequisites. I only have like, you know, 1 course left. I was taking organic chemistry at that time. Oh gosh, don't take it back to organic chemistry. And they were like, and have I applied, so on and so forth. And I was like, no, I'm waiting until I'm done with organic chemistry then to apply. And then, I started meeting other students that came to do their rotations there, and, just talking to everyone. And they were like, no, you apply now. And then, so that way, by the time the application rolls around, you find out, and then you'll be done with your courses, prerequisites. And I was like, oh my God, this is the reason why you have to talk. You have to ask questions, because I wasn't going to apply till this year. And no, till last year, knowing that I would get in 2018, but listening and talking to people and putting myself out there, I ended up applying. I was really scared. I'm not gonna lie, I was scared applying, because I was like, oh my goodness, I felt like I needed to have more competitive GPA. I'm studying for the PCAT. There's so much going on, but that's what, again, it's a lot more information, which I'll put in like the next video, because I don't want this video to be too long. But that was how I decided between whether I was gonna go into pharmacy or PA. That was the determining factors. That's what happened, and that's how I decided to go into pharmacy. So what I'll do in the next video is that I'll try to go into like the more of the prerequisite information and how the courses were, the applications. I'm gonna break all of that down into the series, because I have so much more information to give you guys. And yeah, so that's how I began my journey into pharmacy. I hope I didn't forget anything. I always feel like I forgot something, but I'm like really excited to share all of this information with you guys. Like this, I'm really happy with this decision. I'm still happy with this decision. I pray to God that I continue being happy with this decision, because going back to school is not easy. But 2 children. But in any case, that's what triggered, again, the earthquake in Haiti triggered something for me going to the health field, deciding between PA pharmacy, 2 job interviews, picked one, loved working, met some amazing, great people, and they steered me into the direction of like, why am I waiting? And I applied, and yeah, here I am. I'm in pharmacy school now. I have so much more information to tell you guys. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. I cannot wait to go and record the next video for you guys, giving you more information, because I gotta watch this to see, so I won't be redundant, repeating the same information. And if you're a subby, thanks for coming back in. I really appreciate it. If you have any other questions or anything that you would like to see more from the pharmacy series, or anything other related that you can see on my channel, feel free to put them in down below. And I look forward to hearing from all your guys' questions, and I look forward to updating more on this series and giving you guys much more information as I go through this journey and take you guys along with me. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!